Hi, this is a Sigil workshop, Sigil making workshop. It's to show you how we do sigils. And first of all, sigil is an intricate symbol. You can find tons on Pinterest. Just write sigil, and then you can stamp love on it if you feel your love from your root chakra. If you don't, I'd suggest listening to lots of metal and to focus, to raise your frequency and reach your higher self, and concentrate on your pelvic area, and you'll feel this miniature orgasm. There's actually love, because I feel these tentacles. Every once in a while, the music starts spinning this lasagna around inside me, as if I have no organs, and it's like lasagna, and with pulleys and then holes dig in, and the music actually plays around with love clusters in there. It's like it's similar to orgasm, but it's not as powerful. It's just this mellow love feeling. I call it love. And then you notice that, with Aleister Crowley's sex magic is probably referring to that love. Well, they would actually do it with sexual intercourse and all that. But I think it was just to get the love feeling from the orgasm. And sigil making is actually just, a sigil is a diagram. Here's some sort of sigil I did. It's supposed to bring me prosperity and keep me away from depression. As soon as you're, see, I got the pentagram and moons for Hecate and I. You can put symbols that already mean something, that have already been programmed with love. That's mean that they've been built with an intention and using love, that love you feel on your root chakra. And yeah, that love, there's some in your head, there's some all over the place. The music, when you concentrate on music, on the metal music, it starts playing around here and there, and you'll notice that the instruments attract that love, and every once in a while there's a note that, well, you love more, but that love is actually other people, and that's the way you program them. Well, whenever you say something on that love, since it's been said on the love, it becomes a value and a behavior for those people. The cons are all stuck beneath that love. So you'll notice that the lyrics will pound words every once in a while directly on that love. Those are castings. That's how you cast spells. It's by talking to the love. But it'll only affect evil people and people stuck in the new pyramid, in the new delta, the new D. So every time you're doing artwork, this is pretty simple. You don't really have to do something extremely beautiful. As soon as you're doing artwork, you're actually putting love on what you're doing, and that love activates it. Love goes through clothes. Sometimes when you're with evil-deeded people, you'll feel that your root chakra is yelling. Yeah, you'll feel that love a lot more intensely. But I'm an empath. I feel that and I've listened to lots of underground music, and it started when I was listening to metal. I noticed that the music was playing with that love and some stuff was happening. And then by listening to the lyrics, I noticed that actually kills entities when you touch that, evil entities. And the Don, the Godfather, that's who you're talking to when you're speaking on that love. And basically all you need is to be innocent and straightforward and not really think about what you're saying. Once you get used to it, you can actually pound words on that love to actually cast spells. You can just say snowball, and there's a snowball spell. I got that from Immortal. They go snowball at the end of a song, and that's an actual spell. Words, when you learn to spell words, well, it says it, you spell. Because the Kabbalah had letters and sounds and graphemes related to effects and the divine. And some of that stayed and went from Hebrew or whatever the Jewish language is named. But the sounds were used in other languages. So they were also active in English, French, and whatever language you want. And sigil making, that's why Chinese were interested into the calligraphy, the Chinese symbol making, because they would program the symbol using an intention. And that's how you make sigils. You need to have an intention while you make it, and through the love, when you feel the love, you'll notice that, well, see, I just do this and I feel it on my root chakra. Whenever I see someone's hands that's influential, that's black, especially musicians, I feel it touch. I feel the love. The love, your root chakra. Concentrate on it. You might feel a tickling. But when you're doing artwork, sculpture, or whatever, creating, you're actually putting love to what you're doing, because you fall into this trance while creating, and you're actually putting love on what you're doing. Either the image will speak for itself with more intricate artwork, but the colors the people are wearing, just the hand position, the Da Vinci's woman, what's her name in French? It's the Joconde. They had her smoking a joint and doing all sorts of silly stuff afterwards, but she was actually holding her left hand with the right hand, as if she would be holding the left wing back. So that became a very popular painting, and it was terrible for the left wing, for that war using love. Italians have Italian formaggi. It's formaggi. For is a fort, and magi is magic, because you split words in Kabbalah. Because the parts of words also have an effect. Sometimes it's just the part of a word that will magically take effect and not the entire word. But they had all those sounds, and they had each letters and sounds related to numbers and special effects. And then they had that in their tree of Sepirot, which was some sort of intricate sigil. I think they placed it inside the human body. It's those circles. It's like a bottom circle, another circle, and then there's some position in the David star, and it's like that at the top with another circle. The tree of Sepirot was a sigil, a very intricate one and a very powerful one. I think it held us trapped some sort of way in this divine law the Kabbalah had. I'll show you simple sigils I did, because I'm a tattoo artist and I want to get people interested in magical symbols. Oops.
As we all know, Christmas is that mystical time.
This one, well, I don't know why we see it upside down, but it's actually a dollar sign. And then I decorated, because I noticed, feeling the love, that spirals will attract the love, and the love will kind of stick to them. I put an eye there because the eye is already meaningful. And then those white circles, I think, attract entities and spirits. It's kind of houses for them. So it empowers the symbol. Then I put arrows pointing towards the dollar sign. And this is supposed to attract wealth. And then I just decorated it. And the black dots also are houses for black entities. So I put lots for it to have lots of power. And then these two, the top one is protection against evil, and the bottom one is to attract luck. And see, they all have these white circles, these houses for spirits. And then whenever, like that arrow that's really close to the clover, when things are close like that, there's a tension that's created and the love appears there also. And then whatever's pointy, that's why these are simple. The lines on that sort of eye shape on the right and left, on the right of the bottom one, those pointy things, love sticks to them also. Those evil entities or cons or whatever will stick to whatever's pointy. That's why metal bands logos are all pointy and then they're white. There was this thing about white power, because white, they'll always, priests had white there to empower their voice. And plus it was a square. God loves squares. And you'll see black metal magicians, they'll have this little dab of white. And often when they're in a band formation, the ones on the right will have white, because white was right wing and it was white power. It would give them magical powers, that white. And they were white dependent. They didn't want anything else except white. So whenever you stare long enough at a metal band logo, you'll notice that those pointy things, there's love that sticks to them when you start feeling that love. But you have to concentrate. And from listening to music a lot, music will break your this thing that keeps people asleep and not feeling anything. And the music will actually, you have to pay attention probably at first. I didn't have to pay attention at all. I feel it really strongly, that love. Now that I've been listening to a lot, I don't feel it all the time. I kind of have to go down to my pelvic area using my mind, and I kind of drag it back, and then these pulley system with lasagna or tentacles starts twirling around, and all of a sudden something pounds the love, and when something pounds the love, it kind of blows out and starts twirling, and then the notes play with it. Solos will make it love a note and drag it way far to another note, and then they'll get a good solo will stop with an odd note, not that note you're expecting, and that creates a tension with that love, and it reprograms that entity or those people stuck down there. Because from listening to lyrics, you'll notice, because when they say they have a mic, they say they have a dick or a gun. And they, oh, this gun has way too much bullets in it. And then they'll have women screaming like they're getting laid and are being sexually aroused and coming really bad. Well, that's to make fun of what we call girls, because since we feel that fuck switch, when you touch the fuck switch, alcohol pours out. Not real alcohol, but psychic alcohol. That's why musicians always have a beer in their hand. They're saying we're drinking cosmic energy. The beer represents cosmic energy, and when you touch the love, that cosmic energy flows out. And that love is what you use while you're creating artwork. So either the picture you drawn is intricate enough with the colors to program a certain thing with a color code and all that. Because what music is doing actually is it's bleeding on you, it's vomiting. They hated vomit. They would say we would vomit, so we adopted that term and started serving them vomit. And in French, vomi is the veal is fucked, vomi, when you split the word, vomi. And there was something about the veal, probably something with the sacred cow and its skin would be the veal, and that would have a power against them. Hell's Angels would call it vomit. So that's why punks have these images of them puking all over the place. There's even a band called Ultra Vomit, a French band from France. And then the blood, well, Cannibal Corpse has this thing, well, they say they're bleeding out of their penis, because the penis is the microphone. When you're a guy, you have the penis, that means that you can fuck the girls. Girls are evil people. And using the love you feel, or just by singing, emotion connects with that love, because that makes you innocent, because you're singing with emotion. And whatever is rough sounding, like and those weird buzzes in techno and whatever's a buzz sound or a distortion, well, it tickles that love a lot more, and it's a lot more joyful to hear. So you got listen to lots of metal, black metal, death metal, whatever, and don't be afraid of Satan, because we're friends with him, and he's actually helping out because we joined his legion. But we're all good people that in the legion now. So the legion is operating a different way. So here's time for your prana. When you see the beer and you're staring at a beer, well, that reminds you of breathing in from the bottom of your stomach. Notice that cool air coming in. So let's have a bit of prana, some chi. Breathe in the prana. That'll make you rise. That when they say rise, it's your rib cage, and that train, because those tentacles they have love all along them, and that love is some sort of electrical connector. If you say something on the love in your head, well, if it's just in your head, what you got to do is have the music play enough with it to feel that, and then to feel it down on your chakra, because you got to bring them down to the chakra, to the root chakra. And then once that love up there feels the love down there, it's tied. In music, when they say tie, those lasagna would tie up in my back and connect to the bottom. It would tie them down. And then you notice that from listening to lyrics, that love is actually evil people, and it speaks to the evil people, the white power, white entity, the evil people. So I'm getting a bit away from sigil making, but when you're making a sigil, since you're creating, it doesn't really matter what symbol you make or what it looks like. What's important is the intention you give to it while drawing, if it doesn't represent anything. And sigils never represent anything specific. They're always this weird symbol. I'll show you some more here on Pinterest. See this one, it says, it will finally find true love to get things done. These ones have intricate symbols around them, so that probably makes them even more official. I don't know what these symbols stand for and where they took them. If it's just to make it look nice, or the more symbols, because an entity will adopt, the energy will adopt each symbol. And then the symbol with its shape, the way the points attract love, will start behaving like what it looks like, plus like the intention it was given with love while it was drawn. All negative leaves this place. See, and they look like anything. Sometimes you'll have the same sigil drawn the different way with the same intention but a different symbol. These ones are really neat. The colored ones. The sigil for blockage removal of every kind. So what you do when you have a sigil around in front of you is that, well, a good idea would be to print it out and to put it on an altar. This is my Hecate altar. Well, I call it an Hecate altar because Hecate is symbolized by 2 moons and a pentagram. 2 moons and a circle, I think. I can't remember. I don't want to lie to you or anything. But you put it on an altar that whenever you touch it, you put a bit of love on it. And when you look at something, there's love in your eyes. And when you focus on it, you'll actually put love on it. So by putting love on it, I used to get, let's have another chi drop. Breathe in. When I would stamp my root chakra, I'd see the image move a bit. When I'd put my root chakra, I'd fuck the image. And then it would start moving, especially if it had, sometimes you'll see pagans with their hands on each side like that. Or dark art will also show that. And those 2 extremities, if you stamp love on them and focus on your inner self, it'll start untangling that lasagna within you. And you let your head go with music, and you'll notice that the music pounds you in a certain direction every once in a while, and that these go like this. Well, they're actually wider, like that. The arms or whatever. Lacuna Cola has an album where she's sitting like that. And by looking at it, you'll notice the hands go like this. And by putting love on album art, especially album art, fools those evil entities because it cuts them off from what they're looking for. They look for geometry, geometric shapes, white spots. The sacred geometry is also used for sigils, and you can combine sacred geometry in sigils. Sacred geometry is very strong because whatever is a shape is a kind of a home for entities. I used to have a rose. A rose is a curse, is an evil spell. And it's this entanglement of that lasagna within you with bad instructions, with gives you bad reflexes. I had one, I couldn't eat anymore because my tongue would scrape my teeth every time I tried to chew. And I was dyslexic while eating, kind of thing. I could, and then I had this other curse. They said, well, now we're kissing you. And my rib cage went up and I breathed in this weird tasting stuff, and balls crawled up my spine. And those balls, there's often sculptures that show tentacles with balls on them. Those balls, a ball, not the demon Baal, Baal, but balls are also spells that fall in that well that's within the lasagna. You have to pay really attention, but if you manage to raise your frequency and to reach, well, I'd call it your inner self, not your higher self. But it might be the higher self that you have to reach in order to feel your inner self, especially the root chakra. Pay attention to music and try to notice when somebody's playing with his hands. The love. It's tickling your root chakra right now. And those images start moving when you stamp love on them. And when you let your head go, they guide, depending on where your side is attracted. Just tell yourself that's a pilot. Paul McCartney speaks of a pilot. And when that kicks in, you don't even have to control yourself. And you start to twist and shout. Well, you don't shout, but maybe you should. Shouting affects that love also. That's why, because shouting breaks through whatever protection you have and makes it directly to that love. So you got to find that love. But don't worry if you don't feel it. You can still make sigils. Oh yeah, and to get the sigils working, all you have to do is focus on them. That'll put love on them. And then just believe in them and what they mean. And just meditate a few minutes on what they mean and looking at it, and it might start moving, or you might be attracted to different points at first, or geometrical shapes, white spots, and they'll actually snag that love and impregnate themselves within that love within yourself and start acting for you. So do a lot of artwork. That's magical. Art is magical. That all the classic art was they messed up the colors, and the Da Vinci stuff was working for the dogma and the Christian religion, and the Christian religion is a supremacist religion made to conquer. They had everybody on the cross because they put a human being on a cross. That did cross contamination. We were all on the cross. It was made to make us consume and buy stuff. That's why beer, they wanted us to drink beer. So they put Prana on the beer. So whenever you see beer, you get that chi from and the children's of bottom is because they live at the bottom of that tree. And the children are the girls, but there's children of bottom. That's a band. That's because we were dragged at the bottom, and we were inside the pyramid where the Pope or whatever president would speak, or the Don maybe, because it was D-O-N. It would D-O-N. Letters each have a power. That'll be another video. But do art, and then you don't You don't have to know that many intricate symbols. You can add pre-programmed symbols like the ones they have in Wicca and witchcraft. They have some that already mean something. You can add them to your sigils if they feel the definition feels right. Runes are also sigils. The runic magic from the Vikings. The runes are. I got runes on my fingers. These are the elements, the 4 elements, and these are runes. This is Saga. It's a Viking goddess. I liked Saga because I felt my life was a saga, because I lived with a curse, some sort of curse of Christ, because I was marginal. I had dreadlocks and I got lots of bad luck and lots of terrible stuff happening to me. Everybody was evil with me. I ended up getting isolated. Circles would close in front of me and I was always left out. I had this spell isolating me and making me lonely. And there's even a biker club that's called themselves the Loners, because we had some sort of curse of Christ. So that rose the Don had, the Godfather, that was the father of God. So, but they're not anymore. We fucked them off the pyramid. Well, they're in their pyramid now, and we're speaking to them with the love. And then all those sigils are activated with that same love. And then chaos magic is done with that same love. So you don't need like in chaos magic, you don't need an intricate ceremony or ritual in order to make magic. According to me, all you need is the power of love. But it especially affects the girls or the children, because since they had us all in the pyramid, they would call their followers children. And they made them angels and all that. Angels are evil, especially because of hell's angels. And there's no angels in hell, there's demons in hell, according to me. So they were intruders. So they had that fuck switch for a while, but we got on top. And that love is what you use to do sigils. Once I had a friend of mine drawing, and when he'd wiggle the pencil, it was like he was playing with my clit. And I was going, what the fuck is that? Yeah, he's making me come by drawing whenever he moves his pen. That's how I started feeling the love. I don't know why I started feeling that. Probably because of the music I was listening to and the fact that I was cursed. I started feeling the rose inside of me and that curse system of tentacles. And then I had to dance forever. I spent 6 months dancing every day, twisting. That's why the Beatles say twist and shout, because when you twist, you play with that tree and that tentacle system and you untangle them. You have to twist, or you have to wobble and squeak. So remember that when you focus on something, especially doing art, you're putting love on it and you're activating it. So that's why art is so powerful. That's why the Nazis went after all that art in the countries they conquered and destroyed it. It's because it was some sort of strength for the culture of those people, and they were trying to destroy their culture to conquer them. The first thing they do when they conquer you is to take away your divinity. The Indians had something called Loa. Loa was some sort of higher being or some sort of sacred spirit of some sort or a state of mind you could reach, the Loa. But in French, they called the law la loi, loi. So they destroyed that sacredness with something that was imposed to them called the same thing. That's a bit what war does. They'll change, and that's what the mafia and the Hells Angels were the modern SS. they had the West Coast choppers had the Iron Cross. That was all Nazi stuff. That's why Lemmy from Motorhead had the Iron Cross, because he was fighting against that. But what they would do is they changed the meaning of words and symbols, and then they had a helmet with wings. Wings would make them fly. So that's why they had to invent the flying V, the guitar. Since it was a flying guitar, it was affecting stuff that was flying. Because even though the people are walking on the ground and they can't fly, something in their spirit is flying when they're angels and when they have wings. That's why the letter L was powerful, because L in French is wing, and then L was a person. Every letter became a person, or a type of person, or a group of persons acting a certain way. And L was evil, S was evil, D was evil. D is what they were doing to us. You can add letters to your sigils. A is alpha. It's a natural born leader. B is to behave like a bee, and when you be something, well, it takes it off alpha and puts it second. C is control. D is delta. It shoves you in the pyramid. It anchs you. The Egyptian cross, the hole in there was some sort of a portal, taking people down inside the pyramid where they can be indoctrinated and spoken to, because they had the love. So with the love, they would give us values. Whatever was said on the love would become a value and a habit. So sigils work with love. So you focus on them if you can. You put them on an altar, and then you believe in it. And you let it work into your inner self and establish itself, and you look where the love plays on it. So once again, listen to lots of black metal and metal music, grindcore, whatever has distortion. I remember listening to Christmas music, and Santa Claus was said exactly on that love. Santa Claus was a curse, and they're giving it to whoever's underneath that love now. The cross goes on the love, and the rose goes on the cross, on the love. And that love is used to program entities and people. Because since it's fun feeling, their spirit and mind automatically likes what's been said on that. And it becomes a value, or it becomes an interest, or a behavior. When they say die, they always say it on the love, because I ended up understanding that whatever would touch the love would kill. And that's why metal musicians have all these gore and death related stuff, is because they're killing lots of people or what's inside them by touching that love. And when they say die or kill, you feel it directly on that love. So you know that whatever touches that kills also. So metal music will curse, and curse will also, you say curse on that love, and there goes a curse. You know, when you're straightforward and honest, and especially innocence. Power, P, went to innocence now. Is to innocence. So have fun making sigils, and you can make sigils forever for whatever intention you want. There's tons of sigils on Pinterest. Some sigils operate with numbers. They associate letters to numbers, and then they would position the numbers around in the background, and then the sigil logo would link the letters in a certain order. But for that, you gotta kind of know what the letters do. M is master, but after a while, that was because of Kabbalah. And then Mafia, well, it started by MA. They would master the alpha because the M was before the A. You could add letters to the sigils, eh? So the Ma, in French, they would get pissed off when you would say matin. Matin is the morning, but matin is tinted ma, and the ma is the master over the alpha. It's like wearing a hat. That's why they would wear these mafia hats. It's because the master, the Don, it would D-O-N. The O is water. O in French, E-A-U is O. It's water. So I think the letter O, it means water. And that's when John is speaking. You get water poured in. You take your bath at the K. K is also an offensive letter that would piss them off. But the matin would be to waits for me in French, matin. But it also says when you split the word, it tends the ma. It says it upside down, matin. It tells the ma to tend, to get tens. And when they tense, they stick to the love and get cleansed. That's how you wash people's by. I saw this girl washing a counter once. They would count a lot. People that start saying numbers are like that. Those are girls, or they have a girl operating in them, because the numbers would do something, and they start paying. The pay when they start saying money amounts is because they're giving you back the beer they took from you, and it's because that tentacle pulley system with love on it affects your breathing. And sometimes it drags you way down and you kind of run out of breath. I don't anymore because I made it on top of that. And since I have the well at the bottom, the well is full of water and beer. That meant breathe in. When you see somebody drink, breathe in. So that's why there's this band called Hailstorm. Because metal music gets that beer flowing galore. And even say there's a button and when you touch it, it's a button, did you feel it? When I do that, it tickles it pounds my love chakra, my root chakra. It kills something. I lost what I was saying. This video is getting pretty long. I just wanted to talk about sigil making, but I got carried away. See these 3 studs? These attract 3 entities. 1, 2, and 3. 1 is the one that was on top of the pyramid. It used to be Dawn 1. When it was Dawn, it was D-O-N. It would corrupt the O. And N is something to do with the end, and it's a very powerful letter. When I was fighting with letters, I ended up with a Harley Quinn and the Joker. And then the image, when she would lift her foot, I'd smoke this stuff. I would breathe some weird tasting stuff, and then I'd start getting bad habits. And then she would lift her foot on that, and she was linked to the Joker, and I could see them work together by stamping love on those images. So when you stamp love on a sigil, if you reach your higher self and the doors of perception or something, your perception changes and you see the symbols wiggling. You even see letters wiggle. The S was sin. And it would actually, they would put it on the bottom left corner of shapes, and it would let them out. It would start wiggling somebody was that S, and it would make them wiggle, and it would make the S move. And it would let them out of squares you trap them in. This is pretty space stuff. But when you feel that love and that you get in trance, you'll see images move and photos move. And then now there's some sort of eye. Eye would evoke the eye. The one on the $1 bill, that eye, that was an evil eye, because it was at the top of the pyramid. They had, the Kabbalah had us stuck in since the Egyptians, and they would indoctrinate us and enslave us. It's being enslaved to be in that pyramid where the Ankh would take you, and you would thank you all the time. But you is actually something evil. That's why they always say fuck you, is by fucking that love, by playing around with the love is to fuck. You don't actually have to fuck for real and have sex. To fuck, that's why music says fuck you and fuck all, and then when Ozzy would say all right, well, it would take everybody to the right, the more aggressive, dominant wing, and it would also tell them to write. When you say right here, it's because here ends up on the love. That's where you write. When you speak honestly and innocently, you actually write stuff on that love. And then you play with the camp. The camp was them. Can is also when in French. When is something they would do. What is something they would do. It was to D us. So those letters have power, and all the Hebrew alphabet has power. The Chinese alphabet has power. Whatever's a symbol has some sort of power and behavior. And since they have a meaning, well, they behave a certain way. And so just spelling. Well, just spell a weird symbol, and you'll make a sigil. And remember, points and spirals will attract that love. And then focus on those symbols and let music play. And then you'll notice the bass drum or whatever's pounding will make areas flash. And then you'll be taken here and there on the image, especially on album art, because it doesn't give that evil white powered entity what it wants. And then, so it's fighting. That's why they always hide circles, because there used to be inside of a black circle. They have the black. We conquered the black. I don't know how, because space is infinite when we can't take control of the entire thing, because it's infinite. But we managed to conquer black, probably with love. That's what made us on top of that pyramid. And the cons are all stuck in that pyramid, getting spoken to. And when they sing, the rappers, they blast their own heads. Now that's why there's people doing this. They're laughing at them. And often they'll have a broken nose, because the nose is the beak. And they were also called birds. Birds would harass your ears. Anyways, that's another subject. It's almost been an hour. So do art and make yourself your own sigils, just by stamping love on it and having an intention. And then if you write it down next to it, well, it also concludes that. And then play around with already existing symbols, runes, Chinese writing, Asian writings. You can add whatever you want to a sigil, as long as there's an intention, and it'll all start working according to the intention you gave it. Then you put it on an altar, you meditate on it, believe in it. It's a lot, you have to believe in it to become. So, well, like I would say, become, don't believe though. Because, well, don't believe nonsense. So this was it for today, and I feel it on my love when I see somebody play with their hands. They play with my fuck switch. So try to get awake and to get to realize the realize, and to make magic. Peace, love, and play with the power of love. Make art.